Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, March 1st in the NBA, and my best plays are on the way. In this video, I have 4 player props that I love for Saturday's slate. Let's hopefully start March off with a bang. Now, we did end February, which was a very up and down month for us, but it was a winning day for us on Friday. It was a 3-2 day. The only annoying part is all 3 of the video plays hit. We had, obviously, the over for Donovan Mitchell, sweat-free, our biggest play of the day. Mo Gay, whatever. He sucks. He cashes under again. Anthony Simons went under. The only annoying part is our 2 losers were our 2 added plays. They added in the pin comment. Horford and Jose Alvarado. Just not good reads there. It's annoying because if you listen to yesterday's video, I talked about probably like 6 plays at the end of the video. Pretty sure every single one of those hit, or at least 4 of the 6, 5 of the 6 hit. So annoying that I added some plays that just did not smack. But either way, hey, we'll take a winning day. We know how up and down February was. We off to a really good month. The All-Star break hit, and then we sucked after the All-Star break. Good to get a winning day in there. Let's try to do it again today. We got 4 picks. Let's dive into them. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we can make some money with you guys this weekend. First play of the day. Best play of the day. If you're looking for one to tail, you're like, what's your best bet? This one's pretty clear because it's my biggest play of the day. That is DeMar DeRozan. I like his over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists, PRAs, a 1.5 unit play at -120 on DraftKings. Now, last time DeRozan was out there, we took his over in points. He hooked us, and it was annoying because I took his PRAs. I really liked his PRAs, really liked his points and assists. Ended up going to just points, and we got wrecked there. If he cashes his points line tonight and not PRAs, might crash out. But let's talk about DeMar DeRozan, who is on the road taking on the Houston Rockets. Now, I really like this matchup for him. I will note it's not the best matchup for the rebounds and assists. However, he's actually been pretty good against the Rockets this season in terms of getting those rebounds and assists, which is exactly what we're looking for today. Now, we're going to be going back to Props Madness. Reminder, Props Madness, one of our newest sponsors. You can use code COS, get 25% off your purchase. I'll put the link down below to the website. Best research tool out there by far. It's really, really good. Check it out. But let's dive in to DeMar DeRozan. Now, obviously on the season over in 17 of 30, congrats, whatever. But you really love to see what he's been doing with Zach LaVine. He is over in 6 straight games. And in a lot of these games, he's soaring over the line. 52, 34, 29 here, but again, shoots 31%. 28 here, shoots 33%. Again, pretty good. He's been having, look at this game, 18 potential assists, 10 rebound chances. Now, I don't expect that many assists against the Rockets today because the Rockets, as we know, they are one of the best defenses in the league. You see that they allow the fewest assists per game, 7th in rebounds. But we've seen DeRozan play pretty well against them. This game, 26, shoots 6 of 15, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, had 10 potentials in both of them. So pretty good. We think about De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, all those guys are active in this game. Then this one, 33 points, still gets 9 rebound and 9 assist chances. So the rebounds and assist chances have actually been there against the Houston Rockets, something that you don't really see a ton of. Now, obviously, we need to look at DeMar DeRozan, and we want to see how he scores his points. We know he does a lot of damage in the pick and roll, but he's a very versatile scorer. So pick and rolls is number one, but it's not like it's a big difference. But what I really like is an isolation. The Rockets ranked 27th there. They are going to let DeMar DeRozan, and while sure, you might be like, Austin, they're only 6th in mid-range. That's just because a lot of teams don't shoot a lot of mid-ranges, and that's kind of DeRozan's bread and butter. So I see them letting DeRozan get as much isolation mid-ranges as he seeks. And honestly, given how tough of a matchup this is, I think it's going to be a good amount. And so I really like this spot for DeMar DeRozan to get the rebounds and assists, but mostly the points, because I really think it's going to be a spot where he's going to get one-on-one with Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., and they're going to be like, fine, go beat us with contested twos. And honestly, I think that's where DeRozan thrives. We know, and if you looked at this, this is a terrible spot-up matchup, second best spot-up defense. Sure, DeRozan accounts for 15% of his points there. He might get left open on some occasions, but they're not leaving guys like Keegan Murray open, Zach LaVine open. All those guys aren't getting left open, which is why you see them give up a lot of points in isolation. So if you need an individual line for DeRozan, it's points, but I really think he can stuff the stat sheet. All I request is this game is competitive. If the game is competitive, it's a 4.5, 5-point spread. We get a competitive game going into the fourth quarter. DeRozan typically plays pretty much the whole fourth quarter. He didn't play the whole fourth in their last game because they were up by 20 with the last 2 minutes. But if this is a close-ish game within 10-ish points as the final few minutes come down, DeRozan's going to be super aggressive in that fourth quarter. So even if he gets to the fourth with only 15 PRAs, he could easily get 15 in the fourth. We've seen him do it time and time again. He's my favorite play of the day. DeMar DeRozan. Go stuff the stash and get us back that money you cost us on the hook the other day. Second play of the day, we're going to go to another over. Another guy that's been well tenured in the NBA, just like DeMar DeRozan. It's an assist prop. I don't love taking assist props, especially on the road, but I think this is a very good spot for him to get some regression to come his way. And that is going to be a guy by the name of dun, 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 Damian Lillard. I like his over 6.5 assists, which is currently minus 110 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play, whereas opposed to DeMar DeRozan's, who's 1.5 units. I really like Dame Lillard to set up his teammates tonight. Let's just hope they knock down some shots for us. Now, Damian Lillard and the Bucks are on the road taking on the Mavericks. So on the road, we saw Dame last game see 35 minutes. He did get a few minutes without Giannis in the lineup, which is great for us. We would love as many minutes without Giannis because then Dame will be the number one facilitator for this offense. Last game, I think he had 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 minutes without Giannis. So that's pretty solid. But again, he's been a little bit unlucky with the assists recently. But in terms of on the season, we've seen Dame obviously soar over this line at 6.5. He's been very good at hitting this one. If you look at on the season, over in 16 of his last 24. So not the whole full season, but again, pretty good hit rate in there. A couple misses with 6. Now, as you see, he's under in 2 straight. What happened? 3 assists against the Rockets. I just showed you the Rockets' fewest assists per game allowed to teams. So he had 11 potentials. So the potentials were all right. Didn't get it done. This game, he had 4 assists, 14 potential assists. So what can you do? The teammates weren't knocking down. What the computer just glitched to all hell. But again, he had the assist chances. They just didn't knock him down. But again, if he keeps doing that, I feel pretty confident. In terms of where he gets his assists, a lot go to the paint. We've seen the Mavericks struggle there. This is kind of on the season. Recently, they've been even worse of a defense, given they have no size in there. And so I look at Dame having his chances here. Obviously, they haven't played head-to-head this season, but last year, pretty good games. 12 assists here on 19 potential. This game, 8 assists here on 15 potential. So again, I really think he's going to have the opportunities tonight. And that's all we're really looking for. We've seen guys against the Mavericks have pretty good assist games. Tyrese Maxey, 13, Garland, 10. In terms of by position recently, Nick Smith Jr., we'll talk about him at the end of the video. He had 7, and he doesn't pass the ball. Steph Curry, Alvarado, and all these guys, maybe they got a little bit unlucky there, but we saw obviously Luka Doncic just had 12 against them. So I really see this being a spot where he gets the potential assists. I think we see 12 potential assists minimum. And when he gets 12 over 19 to 24, I'll take my chance here. I really think this is a spot where he gets the potential assists. I don't love taking assist props on the road because typically the role players don't shoot as well of a high of a percentage, but I do think this is a game where maybe the Mavericks are leading and we see Dame having to play a little bit more minutes. So end of the day, if you tell me he got 14 potential assists, just like he saw last game versus the Nuggets, I take my chances. Something I do want to note, and a guy that I did look at in this game, a guy that I think could be wide open, that would be this fella, Taurean Prince. If you look at how this Mavericks team has played defense, 30th in terms of corner threes in the right corner. That's kind of where Taurean Prince is open. So again, this is a tough spot for Dame to score the basketball. If you're looking at Dame scoring, where is it? Where is he? You see how Dame scores in the pick and roll, 10th in transition. They've been the best team at limiting above the break threes. You see that third fewest above the break threes. But again, conceding points to the corner and in the paint, where I feel like is where you're going to see Dame passing the ball to. So I do like his over and assist. I put up Taurean Prince. His 3 is a little bit too juiced, but don't be shocked if he makes 3 or 4 threes tonight. I think he gets wide open looks. I like Dame a little bit more than Giannis for assist. I like both of them. Just think Dame has the ball in his hands a little bit more. And so I really do like his over in points, especially given how good of a defense and transition this Bucks or the Mavs defense is. So let's go Dame, 7 assists, get it done. My next play is going to be a guy that was a part-time NBA player. He was recently converted to a full-time NBA player. Shout out to him. And that would be Paul George. I like his over 17.5 points, minus 110 on BetMGM. If you don't get that joke, Paul George recently retired from podcasting. Yeah, whatever. He said he was taking a break from podcasting. He definitely didn't retire. Come on, we know that. But he took a break from podcasting and he's focusing on chasing a championship. Now, with the news yesterday that Joel Embiid's out for the season, I don't see a championship come in the way of the Sixers, but they still might try to compete for a playoff spot. I mean, they are 3 games back from the Bulls from competing in a play-in game. I think over this next 5 to 10 games, you're going to really see the Sixers try hard And if they really suck the next 10 games, they might start tanking. You might see Paul George out for the season, and then he'll be back to podcasting. But again, he came into the last game and had one of his best games of the season. And so I want to piggyback on that. I still would play this at 18.5 for PG. I looked at his PRA lines and stuff like that, but I rather just the points. Now, we'll begin with looking at how Paul George scores the basketball. Obviously, we're back on Props Madness. A reminder, use code COS to get 25% off your purchase. Paul George scores his points in isolation, or the Warriors rank 26th. And I guess he's tied pick and roll and spot up, where they rank 28th. Now, I bring up pick and roll, spot up, or pick and roll in transition because Tyrese Maxey is top two ways of scoring in transition and in the pick and roll as the ball handler. Two bad matchups against the Warriors. Whereas you saw for Paul George, spot up, and he's getting isolation. Two things he's much better at than Tyrese Maxey. Now, where he scores his points, you'll see he does some damage in the paint, in the restricted area and stuff like that. We know Paul George can get to the mid-range. He's capable of that. Now, as I said, he retired from podcasting, whatever. Had one of his best games of the season. 25 points, 9 of 20 shooting, played 42 minutes. Tyrese Maxey shot 32 times in this game. Kelly Oubre still at 27 points. But again, still got the job done in New York. And obviously, as I just talked about, Joel Embiid is out. You want Tyrese Maxey in here. Mac, if you want to isolate Jared McKean out, you've seen in these games, he's over an 8 of 13. So pretty good hit rate without Joel Embiid and with Tyrese Maxey, and I guess without Jared McKean, even if you got rid of Jared McKean, whatever, 10 of 18. Those were early on in the season. So actually, if you we're talking about 17 and a half, there's one game in here with 18. Let's just get Jared McKean up out of here. You've been out for a while, brother. But again, 8 of 13, not bad. If you look at games in the same scenario where he actually played 30 plus minutes, we're looking at a pretty good hit rate. Over an 8 of 10 games, 2 misses. This game, 5 of 18 from the field. And this one only shoots 11 times, whatever. We can't do much there. I think this is a game he has to be aggressive in. And even if you don't say he gets a certain amount of minutes, if he shoots, 12 plus times, let's say he shoots 12 times, we're looking at a guy over an 8 of 10. Again, his misses 4 of 12 and that 5 of 18 game. So I think this is a good spot for him. I know it's Paul George. He's Paul George. Has it been a good season? No. But I feel like he does have a lot to prove over these next at least 5 to 10 games. If he can say, hey, I took a break from podcasting and he suddenly went on a scorcher, hey, it wouldn't shock anyone. Paul George is a better NBA player than what he has shown this season. And coming off a good game, played 42 minutes. Do I think he plays 42 tonight? No, but it's the Warriors. You expect him to show up. If you're looking at head-to-head wise against the Warriors, he actually has some pretty decent numbers against them. He actually already faced them head-to-head this season at 19 points. They lost that game by 34. Joel Embiid did play in that one. And then if you go to last year, obviously different scenario, 15 on 6 of 18 shooting, but then 25 and 24 points. Kawhi didn't play here, played here, and played here. Harden was active in all these games. So again, don't like the spot for Tyrese Maxey as much as I do for Paul George. Probably gets Jimmy buckets on him. I think he can go to work and get one-on-one matchups. They're not going to send double teams his way until he has 25, 30 points. So I really think Paul George in isolation will get the opportunities. I think Kelly Oubre could score some points here, maybe in spot up and whatnot, but I really like the spot for PG. Please don't make me regret this. Please, PG. Get it done. I like the PRAs, but not a great matchup for rebounds and assists. Over the last 10 games, the Warriors have allowed the fewest assists. So just give me the points. Get me the heck out of there. If he's sucking it up, he probably ain't getting a bunch of rebounds and assists, and they probably get smoked. So count me out on that. Final play of the day will be an under. We talked about him earlier. Nick Smith Jr. We're taking his under 6.5 rebounds plus assists, minus 125 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. Now, the Hornets make their return back to home where they will face the Washington Wizards. Technically, this is our first play of the day as it starts at 6 p.m. I'm going to be honest. Nick Smith Jr., he does a couple things. Number one, he's a shot checker. He doesn't really pass the ball. Now, as I said, against the last matchup against the Mavericks, did get 7 assists. Tip your cap to him. But again, that's not really his game. And so I look at this as a spot where Nick Smith Jr., get the ball and fire it up there, man. It is the Wizards. We know they don't really play a whole lot of defense. So, look, I know the Wizards aren't one of the best matchups in terms of how fade this guy. He's facing the Wizards. They're a great defense. He's not getting any rebounds and assists. But I just don't see this as a great matchup for him. He could still get it done in terms of getting 7, but I just don't see it being a elite spot for him to get these rebounds and assists. Now, you're looking at this depth chart. We'll start with the Hornets. LaMelo Ball is the big guy we want active today. He has missed the last few games. I think he plays tonight. I feel like they were resting him because they were on the road. But at home, I feel like they're going to be a little bit more conservative with LaMelo Ball. Home games, your home fans, feel like you suit him up. Another guy in there, Yusuf Nurkic, will be nice if he plays tonight because I feel like when he's in the lineup, he's kind of managing the offense a little bit more. So I look at those two guys potentially returning tonight. In terms of Nick Smith Jr., obviously, if you look at his numbers, you'd be like, Austin, this guy's under in a ton of games, under in 23 of 30. I'm not too concerned about that. That's kind of, I'm piggybacking games where I played 3 and 8 minutes. I really want to look at games where LaMelo, let's say worst case scenario, LaMelo does not play tonight, which would be tough because LaMelo obviously a big time usage guy. Let's say LaMelo doesn't play. Obviously, we're going to see Nick Smith Jr. get the minutes, so he's going to be penciled in for at least 25. Even in this scenario where LaMelo doesn't play, like I said, I think he does, and he still gets to 25 minutes. He's under in a lot of these games. I mean, sure, he got 10 here. He played 34 minutes, 10, decent conversion. Had 6 here against the Wizards, who he plays today. That was in the same matchup. LaMelo wasn't active. 7 rebound chances, 4 potential assists. He played 39 minutes. I don't see him getting 39. We've seen in recent games, this game 32, 33, 33, 33. So it's kind of a pencil in that 33 minutes. Sure, got it done against the Mavericks. Again, Mavericks a pretty good matchup right now, and there was no LaMelo. Now, what happens if, let's say, LaMelo does play, which is what I do expect LaMelo Ball to suit up tonight. LaMelo does play. He's under in, 7 of 9. His overs came against the Spurs. I'm pretty sure LaMelo got injured in this game. And again, here, it converted all 6 of his potential assists. So he's not really a high, assist guy. When we see in this most recent game, 1 rebound, 2 assists. He doesn't really pass a ton. This game sure had 6 potential assists. Proud of you. But not a really big passer. I just don't see this being a great spot for him. I get it. The rebound, the assist matchup is probably better against this Wizards team because they don't play a whole lot of defense. But I don't really see Nick Smith Jr. being a guy that's like, oh, I really want to set up my teammates. That's not really, if you watch him, it's like the ball gets to him. And if he's open, it's getting chucked. It's not like he's making the extra pass. He's chucking it up there. So I see LaMelo playing tonight. I think Mark Williams plays tonight. Yusuf Nurkic plays. So we should see maybe more limited minutes for Nick Smith Jr., even if he plays the minutes. The rebounds matchup is about average. And then the assists is sure plus matchup for him. But how much will he have the ball in his hands with LaMelo and Bridges out there? I think he won't have the ball in his hands. And so when he gets the ball, it's going to be like not trying to set up my teammates. I'm trying to get my own shot. So I see him firing up a bunch of shots and not getting the rebounds and assists. So I really like this over here or this under here. My only under of the day, under 6.5 rebounds and assists. So to recap the plays, best play of the day, DeMar DeRozan, over in points, rebounds, and assists, 1.5 units. Dame Dollar, over in assists at 6.5 for 1 unit. Paul George, Podcast P, over in points, 17.5, like it at 18.5. And Nick Smith Jr., under 6.5 rebounds and assists. We need the 4-0 day. No added plays today. Let's crush it. Let's have ourselves a day. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around, even though we were in a little bit of a cold streak. Hopefully, yesterday was a tide of turning to a little bit more of a heater. Let's go 4-0 today. We'll know we're officially back. And then we'll see what we do on Sunday, where we have another big slate of action. Good luck. Good luck on your plays, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow, hopefully with the brooms out. See you then. Peace.